The question of the morning now, could Bernalillo County be in a cash crunch soon? That's what some of its leaders think, so much so that it might not be able to pay its bills. They say the county treasurer, Manny Ortiz, went on an investment binge. Not a good one. The treasurer's investments are not paying off, and there would be penalties if he tried to pull the money out now. Now the county has only enough money on hand for about a month's worth of operating expenses. That has the county's leaders saying they hope they don't have an emergency anytime soon.
The county doesn't know all the time when things are going to happen and emergencies are going to occur, and that we would need to be able to have cash available quickly.
The county should be in the clear starting in November. That's when $300 million in your property taxes start to pour in. The county will use some of that money to keep more cash on hand. The trial of a fired Albuquerque police officer continues today. Officer Connor Rice, former officer I should say, is accused of using excessive force in the arrest of a drug suspect last year. But Officer Ronald Sedan, Rice's partner, testified that even though the man was down and yelling, "I surrender," Rice felt the man was still resisting. And because of that, Sedan says Rice's actions were an appropriate distraction technique.
I surrender. You surrender.
Connor struck him 3 times, 4 times, as I recall, with a hammer fist. He hit him like this, I believe. But as Connor got there, I turned to holster my weapons. I heard the impact, bang, bang, bang. Stop resisting, stop resisting.
Sedan, who is on military duty in Afghanistan right now, testified on this video before he left. Rice is charged with battery and aggravated battery. Each is a misdemeanor and carries possible 6-month jail term. Well, 5:02 now. Police are still looking to find the person who savagely beat a former district court judge nearly to death. The judge gave an interview for the very first time since the attack 2 years ago. Tom Fitch talked with our Kim Holland on special assignment last night. He was in private practice as a lawyer in Socorro when someone came into his office and beat him. His wife, Polly, found him lying in a pool of his own blood. Mr. Fitch was in a coma for weeks, and when he woke up, he didn't have the answers detectives were looking for.
I don't remember anything of that day and for several days thereafter. Kind of frustrating. I wish I did.
Detectives did find a partial print at the scene they believe is from the attacker, but there was no match in a national database. They also have what they call persons of interest in the case, but not enough information to arrest anyone. There is much more to this story. To see it all, make sure you watch Two Casa Fox tonight at 9 o'clock or head to our website, krqe.com. You can check out the story anytime there. Well, the trial is underway now for the husband of an assistant U.S. attorney. He's accused of tipping off suspects in the big Columbus gun smuggling sting. Danny Burnett is accused of telling former Columbus police chief Angelo Vega about wiretaps to try to link him and others, including the former mayor, Eddie Espinoza, to selling the guns to a drug cartel based out of Juarez. The two were among more than a dozen defendants who pled guilty in the case. Burnett's wife, who headed the criminal division of the U.S. Attorney's Office at the time, denies knowing anything. The man investigators say is the ringleader, Ignacio Villalobos, took off after he got word of the taps. He is still on the run. Well, a man in Albuquerque accused of holding a gun to his baby's head faced a judge yesterday. Florencio Armijo was arrested on Monday near Bridge and 90th Street. A concerned neighbor called for help after saying Armijo was on his porch with his 1-year-old son and what appeared to be a gun to the child's head. Police say Armijo admitted to having a pellet gun, but denied pointing it toward his son. He's now charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and child abuse. His son is now with Armijo's brother. All right, 5:05, lots of things to get excited about for fall. The crisp weather, balloon fiesta, pumpkin everything, and those nice down comforters, but not the return of flu season. Heads up, it is almost here. News 13 Samantha McDonald is live at a Newsplex to give us some tips on how to get ready. Sam, give us the advice.
Well, Matt, like you said, flu season is right around the corner. It's really important to be prepared. The #1 tip from doctors is get a flu shot. It's hard to predict exactly what the flu is going to be like each year, like how severe and how long it will stick around, but it generally starts in October or November and lasts several winter months. A flu vaccine is designed to protect against 3 or 4 main flu strains. Those strains and vaccines change every year depending on research and predictions. I spoke to a doctor in Albuquerque who says you should get your shot as soon as it becomes available. That will probably be in the next couple weeks. You can get a flu shot at your doctor's office, a pharmacy, or a college health center, among other places. And the shot is for everyone 6 months and older. You can get your shot at your convenience, but the doctor says the longer you wait, the more likely it is you will get exposed to the virus. He says the protection you get will start probably a couple weeks after you get the shot.
The flu for some people can be very serious, especially the secondary bacterial infections like pneumonia that can be fatal for many people. So the flu shot is your best chance to avoid complications from the flu.
And that doctor also told me some other ways to avoid getting the flu. He says wash your hands, avoid touching your eyes, your nose, sleep enough, eat right, the usual good health habits. And he says it's a myth that you will get sick from cold weather. That's good news. Matt, back to you.
That's absolutely right. You get sick from germs, not from the cold, although I guess the cold can weaken your immune system. All right, if you think you have the flu, that means the usual cold symptoms plus a high fever and body aches. Doctors recommend you go to them for medication. I believe it's called Tamiflu. Take it within 48 hours of your first symptoms. The earlier, the better on that. Well, the final proposed design meeting for the Paseo del Norte I-25 interchange project is today. The New Mexico Department of Transportation says it promised a public meeting when the final design was ready to go. The $93 million redo will thankfully start at least most of it after Balloon Fiesta. The meeting is from 5:30 to 7:30 tonight at the Courtyard Marriott near Jefferson Street on Journal Center Boulevard. That is going to be a mess for quite some time, but it'll be nice when it's all said and done.